Hello, welcome back to the Spectrasonics Omnisphere tutorial. Today we're dealing with ring modulation. Click it, get into the page. Now I've done a separate video where I describe ring modulation in some depth. It's actually a variant of amplitude modulation. So that video discusses both of those concepts. The shortened explanation is that ring modulation is a means by which you take your original wave, we have a sawtooth here, and you multiply that wave with a modulator. In this case, we have a sine wave. Now, by multiplying those two waves together, you generate what's called a sum and difference effect, where you throw your original wave away and you end up with two brand new waves for every harmonic, and they're called sidebands. I can demonstrate this visually. Firstly, let's hear the unmodulated wave. This is a C, and the fundamental of C is 131 Hertz. There it is. Now what I'm going to do is turn the ring modulator on. I'm going to set its depth all the way down and bring the frequency right down. Put it in normal mode to start with. So what we're going to get initially, because the depth is all the way at 0, is the standard wave, the regular, what we've just seen. As I increase the depth, it's going to start introducing ring modulation into the effect. So in addition to that original wave, you're going to start seeing two sidebands appear. And those sidebands, like I say, it's called the sum and difference effect. As the depth goes all the way to maximum, the fundamental will actually disappear completely. So keep an eye on this wave here. You can just see the sidebands starting to appear. There we are. And now the fundamental disappears, and we're just left with the sidebands. Now, the reason ring modulation sounds nasty, it's all subjective. I use the word nasty to describe brash, harsh, atonal, is because you've got no fundamentals. The original harmonics are entirely gone, and so we're left with a much more enharmonic sound. This is actually a natural characteristic of metallic sounds, and ring modulators are very often used to generate kind of bell sounds or metal chime sounds. But it can also be used for Doctor Who's Daleks or R2-D2 or any number of other effects where you want that kind of very brutal metallic sound. Now that we've got our sidebands, I'll start increasing the frequency, and you'll see as I increase the frequency of the modulator, the sum and difference changes. The numbers get bigger as we add and subtract away from the harmonic by an ever increasingly large amount. And eventually those two waves kind of cross over each other and you get these natural sympathies. If I plug in 0.25, then we've hit a natural multiple of the original wave, so everything is synchronized. And then we go out again and we carry on our journey of creating new sidebands, and then they get back in sync again, so they actually synchronize up 4 times over the course of the scale. If we apply boost, the amount of modulation is increased. Still got exactly the same fundamental principles of physics being applied though. And we can also alter the shape of the wavetable, so we can apply lots of different types of waves as the modulator. Now you'll tend to find ring modulators generally work best with simple waves. It's kind of unusual to see a synthesizer give you this level of flexibility for the modulator, but hey, you know, that's what Omnisphere is all about. That's pretty cool. It's got its own little rhythmic thing going on there. And here's a good example of ring mod in use in the synth. So we have a single layer here, turn the ring mod off. Here's our bass sound. Pretty simple mono bass sort of sound with ring mod. Nice. Remember in episode 1 where I talked about there being so little fat on this synth? Everything that you do always seems to sound amazing. It doesn't really matter what slider we move. And that's just magnificent. You find the sweet spot where it's just doing massively interesting things. Anyway, before I get carried away, no, it's already happened, sorry. That's ring modulation for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, hit notifications. I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.